Gmail for my Google Slides. I sent it to you, so could you open it up on here?
You should, of course, I can go to, no, go to,
We can just go to yours,
open
just
this,
log out of mine.
go to,
Okay.
no, here.
Sign out?
No, you are signing in.
No, that's me.
him. Oh, that's him, we have to sign up. Okay, you can relax, it's gonna take 2 minutes, yeah. You get some cookies. It's already, there's more.
Yeah, right. Right here. Sir? Okay. Should I use a mic? This one? Hold on. I don't know. Pull any cords over here. All right, hey guys, okay. All right, well, I'm Raquel Lemery. I'm a senior here at Bacone College. I'm about to graduate, I'm so excited. But my presentation, this is for my capstone. Professor Sakura, sorry, asked me to present my capstone for everyone's this year, and I was really excited about it. But my capstone project is called, sorry, I got some like wires in my way here. Is called From YouTube Vlogger to Digital Content Creator. I couldn't really think of another name for it, so that's what it is. So, but let's so to start the whole, I'll give you guys like some background about kind of how I started with the whole media stuff. So whenever I was a kid, I went out to a garage sale and I bought a boombox, like a Sony boombox that had a tape player on it. And so I bought some like tapes or whatever, like some random ones. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Hold on. Something just popped up here. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know if I pressed something. Okay. And so I bought some tapes too, and so my siblings and I were listening to, this, it was like retro back then. You know how like people kind of like bought record players like now, like, oh, that's cool. Like that back then it was a tape player. So we went and we bought some tapes, and so we were playing them, and my sister was pressing play, but she accidentally pressed down play and record at the same time. And we realized that we can like say stuff and like record ourselves, and we thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And so we started, right then we were like writing little scripts and like acting it out. We were like so lame, but like, yeah, we would like act them out and all that stuff. And so my family really loved Saturday Night Live, so we would like look at the sketches on Saturday Night Live, and then we would act them out on the tapes and then listen to them and like laugh or whatever. And so that's kind of what sparked my whole, writing scripts and stuff like that ever since I was a kid, just because I really loved like comedy and expression and stuff. And so fast forward to about 2011, I moved to Oklahoma to be with my husband right there. There he is. He wasn't my husband at the time, but I moved from the reservation. I don't know if my hair is confusing a lot of people. I'm actually Native American and Puerto Rican. the braids just kind of help with tame my hair, so that's why I got it. But so I moved to Oklahoma to be with him, and he was going to Bible school at the time. And so he graduated Bible school, and I followed right after him. And so I ended up going. A lot of people assumed that I wanted to be a preacher, but I just wanted to go because I like learning about Jesus. I don't know. I just had an interest, and so. So right off the bat, whenever we graduated from Bible school, we went and moved to Arizona to do like mission work, and so kind of fell into that whole Bible image. I didn't grow up in church, so it was really weird to move to a place like Oklahoma. It was like so strange, just because I feel like no one looks like me around here. So I live in like South Broken Arrow, so being like the only brown person, I feel like around there, like me and my husband feel like we're kind of the only brown people around that area. So it's really strange to not have any natives around. It's just so strange. So we moved to Arizona for a couple months. Didn't last too long, and then we moved back to Broken Arrow. And then my husband's looking for a new ministry opportunity, and so he gets a hold of Reverend Kyle Taylor. He's the head of Big Cone Chapel here, and the goal is to just find like a new ministry opportunity. But by this time, I cannot stand Christians at all. I'm so done with them because throughout my conversion in Christianity, I haven't written or made videos or watched the movies that I like. And I'm really, they're just annoying me at this point, and I'm like really done with this whole Christianity thing. So we get to Big Cone, and we actually are offered full ride Christian ministry scholarships. And my husband's like, oh man, that's such a good opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I am not gonna put myself through that stuff again, because I already had my training in Bible school, so I was like, why do I need to go more? But he was like, come on, this is a good opportunity. So I said yes. And that first year, my freshman year, was probably the hardest year I've ever gone through, because I was crying every day. I was really depressed because I was sort of in this world that I couldn't express myself. I couldn't wear the clothes that I liked or kind of talk about the stuff I wanted to. I had to really conform to something that I didn't really want to conform to. And so from that, so my husband was gonna register for the next year, and I told my advisor, I was like, I'm quitting. I don't want to go to Big Cone anymore. Like I'm not dealing with this stuff, and I really wanted to go home. And so my advisor tells me, he's like, oh, well, we have a professor here named Professor Sikora, and he has this new media program. And so maybe you would be interested in that. I know you like to do videos. And at this time I was like making like really stupid videos on like Facebook and stuff, just because like I needed an outlet. I really needed to like escape this whole like Christian thing, because it was like driving me crazy. And so by the time I went and saw Professor Sikora, I don't know if you like could tell, but I was like, I had it up to here. I was like, I want to go home. Like I hate this place. And so he was like, oh yeah, you like filmmaking? So yeah, we just like really hit it off. And me, Kaden, and Jerome, I want to say, were like a couple of the first students that applied for the program. And so, so the next semester I started that, and that's kind of where it went from here. And so from that, from like my school assignments, I had to create a YouTube channel. Now, most of my content I usually posted on like stupid like Instagram little video. I just made like really dumb videos, just like me being funny or whatever. And so I just posted it on like Instagram and Facebook. And so I didn't want to put it on YouTube, because mainly people on YouTube had like a sort of, I don't know, like something to call themselves. I really didn't have that at the time. I just kind of made random videos, so I didn't want to. And plus, I had like a chip on my shoulder for like YouTubers. I kind of felt like they were stupid and peppy and didn't really know like what real world problems were. And so, but I eventually, got a YouTube, and that's kind of where I started for YouTube. But in my capstone, I really researched and kind of got to like why I felt like that. And like, if you guys don't know who that is, it's Logan Paul. I don't know if you guys know the controversial stuff that happened to him. He made a YouTube video with a guy that committed suicide, and it was like some really big controversy. I think he's a douche, honestly, but that's just what I think. And so, so that was my whole attitude toward YouTube. I really didn't want to be on YouTube. I already got out of like a Christian mold. I didn't want to start another mold. So I had such a hard time with YouTube. So, so in my capstone, I talk about my internal dilemma with making money or being creative. Now on YouTube, with how long I've been on there, I haven't, given the opportunities to maybe like with brands and stuff like that, you have the opportunity to really sell products and stuff, because that's really what it is. It's a platform that if you have a makeup product or something like that, you can get like a piece of that with this, all the selling and all that stuff. So it's like this big old selling thing, and I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make videos and people to leave me alone. So that was the whole internal dilemma that I was having. And so whenever I started making makeup videos, because I thought, I mean, I liked makeup, you know, makeup was cool. And so I started making, you know, that's me, I'm 80s makeup tutorial, and I made myself into a doll. And so I sort of conformed to the makeup community because that's the stuff I watched the most. So I was like, hey, maybe I'll do this. And it came into, you know, me trying to sell and all this stuff, and kind of was, I mean, now that I look at the videos now, I'm like, oh, that was so bad. Like, it's kind of cringy just because I was trying so hard to like fit into what YouTube was that I kind of forgot like who I was. So these are a couple other makeup tutorials that I did. And so finally, it didn't take until my husband is an extreme yo-yoer. He like is a yo-yo hobbyist, so he has like a ton of yo-yos, and he yo-yos all the time. And so Cleveland actually was, excuse me, was holding the world yo-yo contest in Cleveland. It was like 2016, I believe. And so he wasn't competing because he's good, but he's not that good. And so we went as, you know, like people onlookers, you know, and that was like one of the funnest trips I ever had. I'll go ahead and maybe play a little bit of this. Skip a little here if I can. Well, it's not allowing me to.
Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy.
Not allowing me to skip forward, so I'm trying to get to the yo-yo contest, but it's not allowing me. So here, this thing keeps popping up here, so I can't get past it. But whatever. So yeah, that was the world. Right here? Well, I'm trying to, should I, oh, there we go, okay. Here, I think it's gonna play, okay. Is it gonna play? Yes, no, yes. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you guys get the idea. So, so we went to, okay, this is the next slide. So from that kind of sparked my sort of want to travel more. I've been traveling my whole life. I've been to like 8 different schools growing up. So I did move around a lot growing up. So travel was kind of always something that I did. But obviously like going to school and stuff like that, I kind of like put it off and sort of just something that I didn't want to do. So that's whenever I started to kind of niche it down and say like, hey, I really like to travel. And so my husband and I kind of made it a thing that, you know, we're going to focus on traveling. So from Cleveland, I've actually been to a kind of a lot of places. Like since my big home career, I've been to Vegas, Texas, Cancun, Mexico, New York City, and then I just went to California in January. And so, but from that, I've been kind of like learning my whole like editing style, learning shots, doing more research into that. So I kind of found my whole thing on YouTube, I guess you could say. And so from that, Professor Sakura, he's always like giving me these tips, and I always like ignore him. I don't mean to ignore him just because like I want to kind of do it my way. And so he's been telling me to build a website like all these years, but I was like, no, I don't want to. So, but I finally did for my capstone. And so this is my website. And so I didn't realize, I guess, then how beneficial all these tools were. I feel like really stupid now because I feel like if I would have applied them whenever he told me, then I could be in a better place. But you know, whatever, we all learn. So this is my website. And I started to go and do research within my capstone. I came across this girl named Jade Wanza, I forget how to see her lesson, but basically she's a 17-year-old. She dropped out of school and I think she's a millionaire. She produces videos every day and she really just gives tips on how to make it on Instagram and social media. And so, but she holds coaching classes. So she basically has a call every day from someone that wants to make it on social media or whatever platform, and she coaches them and says, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that. She actually has an app coming out right now. And the reason why she dropped out of school is to help her dad, actually. Her dad is he has his own app too, and so she dropped out to help him, but then she eventually made her own too, so I thought that was really cool that she's only 17. And so, but yeah, she basically gives all these tips. So through my research, I started doing the things that she said, which is basically what Professor Sikora said, but it's just a different way, whatever. And so I was like, okay, I'll do this. Like, I'll listen to, and so once I did, yeah, it was sort of like a whole 360 on my whole content and everything. So I kind of started understanding social media as tools rather than just a place to kind of check up and look at the gossip. I used them to distribute my content. And so I changed my Instagram to a business platform, and then I got a public Facebook, and so yeah, I kind of started using them like that. And so this is kind of funny. So I mentioned in Instagram, you can actually mention somebody like at, somebody. And as a joke one day, my husband and I were like joking about, he was like, hey, what if we can move to New York and you can work for the company BarkBox? Now BarkBox, my dogs are like really spoiled. They get like a monthly dog box like every month, and like it's pretty funny. But yeah, they get like, it's like so cool too. They have like themes. Like the last theme was, I think it was like an art theme. They had like Frida Kahlo, but it was like, it had like a dog name. I don't know, that was funny. So I was like, why would I work for a dog treat company or something? We were just joking. And so on Instagram, I like posted like how we had that conversation, and I was like, haha, so funny. And I like tagged BarkBox. Well, they messaged me the next day and they were like, oh, thanks for the mention. And I was like, oh, that was easy. But like, that kind of made me realize, like, when we apply for jobs, we go through like, this site and then post a resume. But if we actually go to the person themselves, they'll actually see it better. So I guess that's a tip for anyone that's like looking for a job, is like go to the person themselves, because they're more likely to hear the ding on their phone rather than that source. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. And so once I started following the tips that she gave, this is sort of weak right now just because I've been kind of slow the past couple weeks just because the final has been doing homework and stuff. So I haven't been really active on my Instagrams and my social medias, but usually I am. And so if you see here, I've gotten like 26 profile views in the last 7 days, which is like, I wasn't getting really, maybe 1 or 2 before. Like the numbers weren't even there. And so this thing sort of tells me the days on with the most people that see my stuff, and also like how many followers. So my follower count came up. I want to say I've gained like 15 or so followers in the past, it's been like 2 weeks maybe. So it's sort of a slow build, but it's still building. So I have to really be patient with that stuff, because I'm like, oh, I want more followers, but it doesn't work like that. You have to work at it, and it's building. So I have to see that. And then over here, I usually get on a daily basis that I'm posting every day over 1,000 something impressions. And impressions are basically people actually like seeing your content. And then there's another thing called like how many people they reach. I usually reach, kind of varies between 2,000 people or so. So people are seeing my stuff. And then my demographic is males 47%, and then women 53%. And on YouTube, it's actually different. My demographic on YouTube is more males watch my videos than women, which is super weird to me because I used to make makeup videos. So I'm like, why are guys watching me? But whatever. Like, do you, whatever, watch whatever you want. But, and then my age range is from 25 to 34. And they range from Tulsa. Devil's Lake is the town I'm actually from, like the small little res town, and then Broken Arrow. So they just sort of range between those 3 cities. And then next, I started getting like all these big like accounts that had like over 18,000, and I was like, oh my god, these people are actually looking at my stuff. It's so weird. And so a lot of film people though too. So I thought that was like super cool that I applied these tools, and people that I actually like to watch are like, you know, looking at my stuff. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, and then the coolest one was this girl named Paige. I like to watch America's Next Top Model. That's like one of my favorite, and she was actually a contestant on there, and I like really loved her through the season. So she actually like liked one of my things. She doesn't follow me yet, but yeah, but she liked my thing. So I was like, oh my god, like celebrities like look at my stuff. Oh my god, that's so cool. So. And so, yeah, that was very like, once I applied the tools, that was really cool. So in conclusion, at the end, I had to really understand that just because I'm on a platform, it doesn't like define me as a creator. Like, unless I let that define me, it doesn't. So, and then with that, like, I know that sounds like kind of negative. I never wanted to call myself a YouTuber, but I feel like people can take it or leave it. There is going to be like biased and like negative things to say about YouTubers, but that, I mean, if it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect me, you know? So people can think what they want about YouTubers, but that's not my problem, you know? So, and then really working with social media instead of against it. As an artist, that was tough because, like I said before, I didn't want to be that annoying person that, excuse me, like, posted or like just like, you know, those people that kind of tag you and all that stuff. Like I hated people like that. And so, but with distribution, you know, with your content, like to get it out there, you do have to be that person, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing unless you make it negative. So yeah, that is my presentation. I hope you guys liked it, and thank you, Professor Sikor, for having me.
All right, thank you. Let's move quickly because time is flying. Stop at this one, right? And it's Caden, right? Caden and Raquel, you're gonna stay there, help him, probably support him. Yeah, let me just introduce you.
It's Blake.
The next one is.
You have a game?
Blake's next.
Okay, we're gonna switch. All right, sorry. No, sorry. Actually, you're right. You are the one. You are next. That was the plan. Already streaming? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to introduce Giovanni, Gio, Gutierrez. Without his help, I wouldn't be able to exist anymore. I became so dependent on him, and he really organized all technology. He is a phenomenal future of millennials. He's not presenting today, but he made it possible. I want to give him applause. A little round of applause. Yay! Great job. All right. So Blake is going to now present about game time. I mean, he is making huge progress in the world of he really podcasting. Podcasting, and he's going to tell us all about his adventure from broadcasting to podcast.